is good fucking great concept.
What he's doing is he's opened up these floodgates for people's for people who don't know anything about anything. Not all of them, Jesus Christ, not all of them. But he's opened up these floodgates for people who never really had an interest in anything to hear someone who's essentially the voice of Ireland at the moment. Right?
Yeah.
And I think it's great. But
him especially, I'm really happy with that.
There's a syndrome where you'll get people who listen to, over here in particular, people who listen to Blind Boy and people who listen to Joe Rogan, and all they do is repeat the things they heard in those podcasts.
In pubs. You hear them beside
Nightly.
Still a million times better than people quoting Jordan Peterson, but...
Yeah. But that's what happens. It becomes this parroting syndrome. Yeah. And it's great that he's talking about it, but people aren't actually taking an interest in it and learning their own thing.
If you asked him more about it, he'll tell you everything down to the detail about it. But I know what you're saying. You're hearing just things like... And it's great to get openly talk about mental health. But I do find that mental health exists... Talk about mental health exists mostly online for likes at the moment.
Absolutely.
And I hate to say that, but it does.
It's fact. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about music.
Yeah.
Do you like the music? Who's your next music?
Do you like music?
Yeah.
The band Phantom... Do you remember Phantom Planet?
I don't.
Especially the name rings a bell, though.
Kind of, but I don't...
We're going back to California.
Really?
California.
All right.
You know, the little Cal that comes up. You know that song California from the OC?
I do.
That band, 2001. Yeah, that's Phantom Planet.
Okay.
This band they're from everyone knows the OC, the American TV show about high school with the main lead actor that looked about 40.
Yeah, but it's not the one who was meant to be like rough around the edges.
Yeah, he came. He was basically like the white Prince of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
the white Prince of Bel-Air.
So he came and lived with the auntie, and he was kind of troubled teen, and he became a mechanic or something like that. And
this is the second week in a row Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has been brought up as well.
Yeah, we think we should keep that on a roll. We haven't talked about Noel Rodgers and Chic for a while, so we have to.
Bottle opener, you ready?
That's bass. Trip your trigger. That's bass. A lot of people will know that song from the OC. It was absolutely massive. But the rest of the band, bar the drummer, no idea or no care. But who is the drummer from Phantom Planet?
Oh, no idea.
It's only the actor Jason Schwartzman.
Fuck off.
No. Rushmore. So he was in Rushmore in 1998, and that was Wes Anderson's. Apart from Bottle Rocket, I think it was the first one, like independent. Rushmore was the first big enough movie by Wes Anderson in 1998. It had Bill Murray in it, and Rushmore is a great film, and it has Jason Schwartzman as the little beret wearing little dude. Yeah. You know that dude?
Yeah, I know the dude.
Great actor.
He's
good writer as well.
That's something I watched recently.
He basically in 1998. When Wes Anderson wasn't even really that famous, he was in that, and they are now like linked. So he's been in like Darjeeling Limited, and I think he's in loads of Wes Anderson movies.
That Hotel, something, whatever it's called.
I don't think he's in that.
I don't remember.
I'm not 100% sure, but he's been in stuff. But in 2001, he was still in there playing this, and I went back to watch a video, thinking like Jason Schwartzman is a very kind of unusual actor. He's a very kind of dry, sort of subtle.
Yeah.
Very funny. His comic timing is brilliant, and he's perfectly awkward in the roles he wants. And I was like, I wonder what kind of drummer he'd be. The rest of the band are all dour and California. He's up there doing the full arm swings on very basic drum bits, and he's like giving it loads. And I was like, I never knew Jason Schwartzman was the fucking drummer from Phantom Planet. California.
That's fucking mad.
And so obviously. He left the band in 2002 after that big song. They were huge at the time, getting gigs everywhere because they were presumably up for awards for that California song. It's in one of the biggest TV shows around. But he is getting good roles under Wes Anderson, and I think he's in I Heart Huckabees, which is a fucking brilliant film as well with Mark Wahlberg.
I'm actually just looking him up. He was in Oil of Dogs. He co-wrote Oil of Dogs.
He's a good writer as well.
That's a great little film.
So this is an example
of... The Polka King. That's what I know. Yeah, that's the last thing I watched too.
Yeah. This is the fact that he became far more famous than Phantom Planet.
There has to be a load of fucking royalties involved in that song though.
Oh, he's doing all right.
Few bob out that song.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe not now.
Songwriter and drummer are two very different things.
I don't know. It depends on... Generally, bands that are that size will just split it for...
Either or. He's a Hollywood writer now, which is more money than music, I would imagine.
Do you reckon he has more money in his pocket right now than I have?
I reckon in his pocket right now... If you go buy all the bags of Hollywood cocaine, you'll find...
I have €18 in my pocket right now.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's quite a lot for...
Sorry, isn't it?
No, I've 20. I spent a lot today because I went to see a certain football team win. The footballs.
Also, come here. No, I'll let you finish your story. Go.
I don't really have much more to say. Listen, everyone knows the rest of the story about... He was in a TV show called Bored to Death with Ted Danson, which is a really good... I think that's someone with Ted Danson, where he plays, I think, a kind of private detective. Jesus, I really hope I'm right about that because I watched it years ago and can't remember a fucking thing about it. I have actually a lot of time for Jason Schwartzman. He comes across as a little... He balances the line between annoying and awkward and slightly funny, but he's almost a little bit like an entitled kid in some of the stuff. But, listen, I like Schwartzman. He's grand. And I like him a lot more than that garbage band Phantom Planet. So, what were you going to say?
I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who sent messages in about my itchy nipples.
Yeah.
A bunch of people got on to me.
A lot more than my prostate.
Yeah, true.
Which I presume is fine. We're just talking to the fact that not a lot of pissing for me tonight.
Pretty good.
But see, I forgot, I drink a fuck ton of water during the day.
Yeah. I still can't believe that a good 5% of the overall content on this podcast has been dedicated to you taking slashes. And now my itchy nipples.
Yeah, I'm surprised certain other comments about certain pills you took went.
No, actually, there was one comment. There was one comment about dick pills.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
One. It's pretty good though. Jesus Christ. Yeah, thank you for your recommendations on moisturising creams. Apparently, I found out that mothers who breastfeed, their nipples like crack in half and all, and there's a special cream for that.
Were you breastfeeding your little dogs or pigeons?
I was.
And your pigeons?
Yeah, and the rabbits.
The rabbits,
pigeons, rabbits, and dogs.
Were you letting them suckle on the breast of Gar?
Of course, yeah. Give them the good stuff, man. Give them the good. That's what do you think they're better? What do you think they're better? So I have 2 pigeons at the moment. One I found underneath.
You've only one nipple though.
I do. I've only one left. I found a pigeon under a railway bridge, and I put it in my pocket and brought it home when it was a baby. Her name is G.I. Jane. And then I found another pigeon who was being attacked by a baddie pigeon in my backyard. And I called him Smaug, like the dragon, because he used to sit on the board seat and not let anybody else near it. But that's because he was fucked and dying. So he's living out his last days now.
As a gargoyle.
He's a fucking... I had to separate them because Jane hurt our wing and Smaug was being a prick and he was attacking Jane.
Even though he's the one that was getting attacked in the first place?
Yeah, I saved him. I had to kick a baddie pigeon in the head. It was fine. It flew away. Like, it was grand. I literally had to...
Do you know what? You could have came in at the wrong time. Maybe Smaug was attacking him. The other pigeon went, you know what? I've had enough of this guy. Yeah, turn around and start attacking. Maybe
they tried to break each other's wings.
Maybe you...
That's what they do. Yeah, they jump on... When pigeons are in distress, they flap out their wings to try and hold themselves up. Because they generally tend to fall forward. And the other pigeons jump on their wings to try and snap them. It's really easy to break their wings.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fucking manky.
With their horrible little feet.
With their really warm pigeons' feet. You'd expect them to be freezing cold, wouldn't you?
Well, the ones that you see in town, their feet are maggoty.
Yeah, the Gicknas. Yeah, Gicknas call them, yeah. They can be all fucked up.
Crust claw.
They're landing on barbed wire and getting fucked up and all. Both my pigeons are in great nick at the moment. And but they don't like each other. They have to be separated. It's a full-time job. You have to give them hot water bottles like 2 or 3 times a day.
Really?
Yeah, because they're not flying around. So I'm waiting for them to get better so we can release them. You know?
Yeah.
Smaug, I doubt.
Do they ever look back as they're flying away and turn around and go, Daddy, thank you? No, something like that.
They swing digs at you. Pigeons, they're actually able to give like hooks with their wings. That's how they fight you. So if you got to like lift one of them out with their cage or whatever, they throw digs at you with their wings. Whamp! Start swinging at you.
I thought they would have bitten or pecked.
No, they peck at you, but it doesn't hurt. They have no strength really in the head. Anyway, music,
Interesting. Who is your next one?
My next one, speaking of birds, is a band called Exotic Birds.
Oh, I know this band.
Yes.
I had them on my list, but I didn't think I could find them. But now I realize
I did find them.
Yeah.
I found them. It was difficult.
I looked at the gear and went, "No, that's not them." Then I realized it was a re-release, presumably.
Yes, it's a re-release. So Exotic Birds were from Cleveland, Ohio, and they existed from 1982 to 1991. This song is called "This Feeling." It's okay. It's fine. It's
very poppy, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of when they were doing the rounds, they would have supported bands like Culture Club and stuff like that. In the States.
Do you really
want to? Yeah. So they're a synth pop band. They were formed originally by a guy called Andy Kubizeski. What a name.
Good
He's obviously Polish. Kubizeski.
You're getting good at this Polish stuff.
Am I? And eventually, believe it or not, he joined Stabbing Westward.
I have a lot... Really?
Yeah.
I have a lot of time for Stabbing Westward.
Westward. Stabbing Westworld.
I think Stabbing Westward are a very underrated... industrial / poppy rock. Well, industrial rock, but mainstream industrial rock bands. Go on,
So it's interesting. So there seems to be a couple of incarnations of this band. So there's Kubizeski is the main guy. Andy, I'm just going to call him Andy.
Yeah.
Right. So he's the main dude. It's his band. He like I said, he went on to join Stabbing Westward. He also played with They're There for a long time.
Really?
And he played with Crowded House for a while as well.
That is 3 bands you would never link together.
Never ever.
They're there and Stabbing Westward at a push.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of dark
Crowded
sounds.
fucking house. Yeah.
Crowded House.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And this is where the link comes together, is that about within a year of them releasing their first EP, they decided they needed to kind of expand their sound because they were originally a 3-piece and they wanted to expand it a little bit. And they bring in a little known local musician by the name of Trent Reznor.
Trinity Reznor. That's his real name, isn't it?
Trent Reznor, yeah.
It's a great name.
So they bring him in.
His name sounds industrial.
Yeah, it does. It's
Trent Reznor.
Yeah. Robots in the skies.
It sounds like an industrial plug-in for a fucking synth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trent Reznor.
So they bring him in on keyboards and backing vocals and doing a bit of programming. And it doesn't really... They last until 1991.
He's there singing about fucking you like an animal and all. What are you on?
Now, he only lasts for a little while before he decides to knock it on the head. But he maintains a very, very good relationship with the guys. So Andy Zabriskie... Here's the thing about Exotic Boards. It was almost an art project more than a music band.
Yeah.
Okay? So Andy played drums in the band. Okay? And so eventually, because they're all mates and this type of bollocks... One of the guys goes on to join 9 Inch Nails when Trent forms it.
That's cool.
I can't remember his fucking name. I think he might have been the bassist or one of the guitarists, but he was the guitarist in Exotic Boards. He brings him in to join his stage version of 9 Inch Nails. Andy Zabriskie, the guy who created Exotic Boards, he gets him in to do drums on the Downward Spiral eventually. So he actually plays on Downward Spiral as well. Now they end up completely and utterly. Trent joined in 1985. They break up completely in 1998, I think, early 1998.
88, surely.
Sorry, 1988.
I was like, yeah, that's definitely not true.
I
did that 98, 88 all the time.
Kubizeski gets a version of the band back together again in 1990. Right now, I'm not see the song I picked. It's really hard to find details on this band. On
I found it hard as well.
It's difficult.
That's why I kind of. Although I really wish I had left them on my list and not put the next one on, because the next one killed me because I couldn't find it. But that was a tough one for me to.
So this is the band that Trent Reznor was in. Whether he played on this song, I couldn't fucking tell you.
That's the bit that I found hard as well.
As an example of what the band sounded like, here you go.
And he was in them. Listen, we're just putting them on it.
Exactly.
The story is what we're...
The story, yeah, exactly. Now, I think there might have been like 2 EPs and maybe half an album or a mini album or something.
Some of it is alright.
It's fine.
There's funny videos of him playing with them.
That's how I found it. So I read an article and I didn't believe it. And what I done was, I found a video from a local TV channel in Cleveland. And they were talking about Thomas Dolby.
Oh, yeah.
They were talking about Thomas Dolby being the first guy to like create synthesizers and create computer music. Like there's no traditional instruments. And they were interviewing him. And as part of this feature on the news, they brought up the local band, Exotic Boards, who also used programmed fucking electronic drums, electronic fucking keyboards, whatever. Yeah. And they showed footage of a gig they were playing. And he was front and center on the keyboard.
Yeah.
It's Trent Reznor. You can't miss that fucking head.
Yeah.
Right? Looks like somebody drew it. It's just stupid.
With real sharp markers.
Just, exactly.
Yeah.
And this would have been back in the day when like 3/4 of his face was just nose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And chin.
Exactly. So you can spot him a mile away. So once I seen that, I was like, holy shit, like this is actually real. Because when you go on, even if you go onto their Wikipedia page, there's fucking no details on anything. You know? And if you go looking Trent Reznor Exotic Boards, you'll find like was in a band called Exotic Boards.
That's all you get. And you then find the music as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got lucky. I was able to find one of these songs and it's on some fucking compilation or some shit. Or maybe there's an EP up there online. Like I said, I'm not sure if Trent played on this, but this is the band he did play in eventually. So that's Exotic Boards. Gave birth to Trent Reznor, which gave birth to 9 Inch Nails, and he kept the connection between 9 Inch Nails and Exotic Boards kind of forever onwards. Who's your next one?
The band is Sista, and the song I think is called Hip Hop.
This is, before you go any further, I had this on my list, and this is exactly the song I picked. I went through that
good.
album. Yeah, I went through that fucking album,
Yeah.
and I was like, no.
Ooh, that's
what's
a good
this now?
song.
That's all right. Yeah,
It is a good song,
It's the
yeah.
exact song I had in my little rough
Yeah.
playlist.
Because I listened to the rest, and it's not even the biggest song, but they had a way bigger song with like
this is
2 million
fucking
listens
decent,
or whatever.
yeah.
Like, but this was one where I went, ooh. So we do listen to what we're
Yep.
sticking on. This is Missy Elliott's